What's up, guys? Adapark here, and today I have a question that I'm going to answer from one of you guys. A gentleman by the name of Aaron Hutterer, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, sent me a message asking me, I think an awesome idea for a video would be to explain how, as a raid leader, you decide who to pick for the various jobs people need to perform, and then how, as a raider, you can accept those jobs that are given out that maybe are out of your comfort zone and then get them done. And then he said, hey, I also forgot to mention, thanks a lot for the video response to my message a while back. I love your videos. Keep them up. So let's tackle the very last message first. He was a gentleman that sent me a private message a few weeks, maybe a month or two ago, saying, hey, I have recently been promoted within my guild to an officer rank. I'm now leading the raids. And I've noticed that my fellow officers are essentially not doing anything. They're not pulling their weight as far as leaders go. Maybe as players they are, but not as leaders. And I don't know what to do. Do I stick it out? Do I leave this group? What do I do? And I gave him some advice, which seems to have helped. And then he messaged me. I think he put a comment on the video, in fact, that said, hey, thanks for the advice. You know, I did exactly what you asked me to do, what you said to do, and everything worked out. So I'll say to you, Aaron, and for those of you that have sent me messages, questions, those of you that are thinking about it, I love doing this. Like, if there's one video series or one thing that I can do above everything else, it would be to answer questions like this. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a cutting edge raider. I used to be a lot more hardcore in my younger days. I'm too old for that. I got so many more responsibilities. I'm not a cutting edge world first type player. However, I have been guild leading, I've been raid leading, I've been raiding for a long time. You know, I've been doing this thing for a long time. And hopefully, my advice, if you don't take it, it at least gets you on the right path. So I love doing this. Thank you for all of the props, all of the encouragement. It means a huge deal to me, seriously. So let's tackle your question. How do you as a leader assign tasks, and how do you as a follower, not that there's anything wrong with that, how do you take those tasks that maybe you don't want to do, maybe you're not very good at, and get them done? So I'm going to share with you guys a quick military story because I think this will get you hopefully in my mindset when it comes to how I feel about this question. So back when I was in the 15th Marine Expeditionary Unit, as a data Marine, a young corporal in the 15th MU, we had a rotation set up where today I would come in early and I would leave late, and I would do things such as start backups on the servers. I would unlock the commanding officer and executive officer's classified network cables. I would, set things up. I would do whatever basically IT related stuff that needed to be done before everybody else got there, and then locked everything up after everybody else left. Now, tomorrow it's your job to do it. And, the next day after that is going to be a 3rd Marines day to do it. So with that basis, we had this rotation down. And I don't remember what day it was. Let's say it's a Tuesday, because you guys should be watching this on a Tuesday if you're watching it when I publish it. And I get a phone call about 5:30 in the afternoon by my staff sergeant. And he says, hey, get everybody together, meet me back at the CP, the command post. Now, fortunately for us, the barracks were right across the street from the command post, so didn't have to drive. Really, it was very quick. So I grab up all the Marines, which it was a handful of us, 4 or 5 of us, say, hey, get your camis back on. Staff sergeant wants us back over at the command post. So we get over there 5 minutes later, and he says, hey, who was on watch today? Well, it was Corporal so-and-so. And he says, okay, well, the server cage, which is a classified room that not everybody in the Marine Corps has a clearance, just so you guys know. So you can't go in there unless you have a clearance. But this room was left unlocked. Huge no. Huge. You don't do that. So he asks, hey, who did it? We say, it was Corporal so-and-so. He says, good to go. You guys get the hell out of here. I'll deal with it. So next day, we do our normal job. And I get a phone call 5:30, 5:20, whatever, a few minutes after we get off. Hey, get all the Marines together, get your guys back over here. Got to talk to you. So same deal. We get back over there, command post, exact same situation. The server closet was not locked up. classified material all over the place. Huge red flag, huge no-no. Who was on call? Corporal so-and-so. He essentially fucked up yesterday, so we put him back on call today. No, good to go. You guys did good. Corporal so-and-so Smith, we'll say, even though there was a Corporal Smith that was, with me. But Corporal Smith, go up to the, second floor. I'll deal with you in a second. Once this guy leaves, he pulls the rest of us together and says, hey, essentially you guys need to teach him whatever way possible that he needs to lock this shit up, that he needs to fix this. TLDR was, hey, he needs to be encouraged, maybe with some physical force, to get this thing done. And for us, this was just simply a bad Marine who should not have been doing this job. And fortunately, we were able to pass him off because he was a danger. You just can't leave classified material laying out there. But hopefully this story tells you my mindset when it comes to giving out responsibilities and how you can handle those responsibilities if you're not comfortable. So to be clear, as a raid leader, as a guild leader, let's say something like, perfect example, chromatic anomaly. My guild handles the second phase of chromatic anomaly like this. Once the ad pops up, somebody will call out, I'll try to call out, the other tank will try to call out which direction the boss needs to move. Now the ad pops up, we all DPS it down, and somebody, generally a tank, is going to pick up the item, I don't remember what it is, but will stop his channeling ability. Now, as you know, the longer the channeling goes on, or if you didn't know, the more damage the raid takes. But we kind of like to play a game of chicken, and you guys can see this in the videos with Chromatic Anomaly, in that we won't immediately break the channeling effect. Why? How much can the healers take? And it means that we don't have to deal with any of the mechanics in phase 1. We can ignore ads, we can ignore orbs, we can ignore explosions, we can ignore the time bomb, we can do everything as long as the healers can keep us up. So every week there is a healer rotation that says it is your job this week to call out when we break it. You are the sole person that will call out. I don't care if the DPS are saying my health is low. I don't care if it is your job this week to call it out. And that's how I handle responsibilities, is I have rotations that are there for you guys to follow. And the reason for this is very simple. One, you know in what order you are going to have to do it. So I know I didn't do it last week. If I didn't do it this week, rather, I'm going to have to do it next week. Or, I've done it, I won't have to do it for 2 or 3 weeks. The good thing about this is if people don't know how to do it, it gives you several attempts to look at someone that does know how to do it. I like doing that. When you look at Zul Harak back in Hellfire Citadel, hunters could use deterrence. I always forget the name of the ability. Deterrence on the black holes and absorb all the black holes without taking any damage. And what I liked doing was I played a hunter during that time. And so I would show the new hunters, this is how you do it. This is how you don't do it. And then I would put them in the rotation. And I'll go first, you go second. That way I can show you how to do it, and then you can execute it. Now, what happens if a raider doesn't execute it properly? I'm going to make you do it again. If you don't get it right, you're not getting a free pass. I'm going to make you continue doing it until you get it right. And the reason for that isn't that I'm trying to be an ass to you. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm not trying to keep you down. But the fact is, let's say that there is a responsibility. Let's take the chromatic anomaly example again. And let's say that every week we do this. We play chicken to see how long we can stretch out phase 2 so that we can maximize the DPS and minimize phase 1 mechanics. And every week the same healer makes the call. But this week that healer is stuck at work, or his computer died, internet went out, he left the guild. Something happened, he's not raiding. Who does it? Now you have no clue how to do it, because he's always taken care of it. He has always done that mechanic. And I am so for cross-training. I'm so for trading responsibilities, because one person should never do everything. That is bad from a leadership perspective. That is a single point of failure, and you are going to fall and fail hard if you do that, because something's going to happen. Something in life is going to happen. That computer's going to break. They're going to be stuck at work. They're going to leave the guild. They can't raid tonight. And you have no backup. And then you start from scratch. And now you go, okay, now you need to learn how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I've never done it before. He's always done it. Now I have to learn how to do it. So I would suggest rotating people in and out, and then talking about it. Encourage people. If it's not working for you and I'm able to do it, your ass better be coming to me and go, hey, at what point do we make the call about, stopping phase 2 and going back to phase 1, or whatever the, mechanic is? How do you know? Talk to each other. So as a raider, how do you accept those responsibilities that are out of your comfort zone and do them? That's a tough one, because a lot of raiders, and you will see this is the bane of LFR, is that mentality of, I don't want to do responsibilities. I don't want to do it. Instead, I want to sit, not move, and stick on the boss the whole time. That's not the mark of a good raider. And that's, as a raider, something that I would realize, because your raid leader and your officers should be preaching this. The mark of a good raider is not high DPS. It's great. It's cool. It is not, minimal amount of damage taken. It's not high healing numbers. That's not a good raider. That's a good player, but a good raider is one that can do that, whatever that role is, that responsibility, along with switching to ads, interrupting, getting mechanics down, stepping in this that's supposed to be soaked, avoiding that's not supposed to be touched. That's the mark of a good raider. And as a raider, that's what you need to embrace. This game is not hard when it comes to the rotation. This game is not hard when it comes to DPS. Gear comes, gems and enchants you can buy. The mark of a good raider, and what you as a raider should be struggling and crawling and scraping towards, is every week being better and better at those tertiary jobs. It's not high DPS and avoiding things. It's doing all that at the same time. So how do you get out of that comfort zone? Do it. If you don't like something, and I will tell you, as a raid leader, as a manager, as a guild leader, if I know one of my technicians at the place that I work at doesn't like doing something, they don't like replacing motherboards and laptops, guess what you're going to be doing for the next week? You're going to be ordering motherboards and replacing them. Why? Because if you are not comfortable doing it, you need to get comfortable doing it. Because something's going to happen, and eventually you will need to do it. Whether that's here or at another job, whether that's in this raid, another guild, another raid tier, you're going to have to do a similar mechanic. Get used to it. So from a raid leader perspective, rotate your people in and out. Make sure that everybody understands what's going on. From a raider perspective, jump in and do it. Realize that that's where you shine as a raider, and understand that eventually you're going to have to do it. Something's going to happen, and you want to prepare yourself before it falls on you and you're completely unprepared. Hopefully you guys like what I'm saying here. If you do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Both of those things encourage me a great deal to continue to make the content that you're seeing here. If you have a suggestion on something that you want to see, or you have a question that you want me to give my 2 cents on, let me know in the comment section below, or send me a message on YouTube, and I will most definitely make a video about it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you.